There are some things that could totally rock the market.
We may be heading into June on a positive note, but those market-moving headlines are still very likely this summer.
There is a growing expectation for the Fed to cut rates.
But MarketBeat's Thomas Hughes has a list of 5 stocks that all have strong buy signals this June.
The analysts are lifting their targets, and that's what caught my eye.
Do you think that this company has a potential to grow leaps and bounds from where it is today?
Oh yeah, that's really what the story is, and I'm glad that you brought that up.
Stick around for a deep dive into the final stock on his list, one of the newest stocks in the market with huge potential ahead.
Very solid growth outlook. There's definitely going to be demand for its product.
Could these stocks help make your summer a big success? Let's dive in. Tom, it's so great to have you back on the show today with one of our favorite segments, and that is your top 5 stock picks for the month ahead. If you're a subscriber here, you've seen these videos before. They're some of your favorites. If you're not a subscriber yet, hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you follow along with all of our daily videos and these monthly stock pick videos from Thomas. Well, it is hard to believe, Thomas, it's already June, but thankfully we are kicking off this first month of summer on a high note.
Yeah, I mean, the market has still been rising. I think we gained about 5% in May, bringing the rebound from early April to about 20%. It's pretty strong. We've gotten above what I see as a critical resistance point. The question now is just what the market does over the next few months. There is a lot of uncertainty in the air right now, so it's totally possible that the market could trend sideways for the foreseeable future before extending itself to new highs later on this year.
Now, before we get to your list, I want to talk about some different catalysts that might be happening in June that could move the market one way or another. I know we saw some positive gains in May again, really positive almost the entire month of May. Could we expect the same in June, or could there be something that might rock the market a little bit?
Well, there are some things that could totally rock the market, not least of which is the FOMC meeting. It's due in a couple of weeks. There is a growing expectation for the Fed to cut rates, but with the uncertainty, the other catalysts which are related to trade negotiations and tariffs, the Fed's probably going to hold off. So again, lots of uncertainty for the next few weeks. There's probably going to be some headlines, some market moving headlines and some knee-jerk reactions, potential for volatility. But as I've been saying, I think the outlook is fairly bullish for the market. It's just a matter of getting through this time of uncertainty to see where it goes from here.
So given all that could be upcoming in June, how did you narrow down your list of 5 stocks that are good buys this month?
Well, I always use a variety of different techniques, but this month I started with the MarketBeat's list of most upgraded names, and the names on that list were very interesting. And when I went to look at the charts were also very interesting. We have a lot of rebounds in place and bullish activity, good analyst activity. So it just looks like these stocks are good buys for this month.
All right, Thomas, let's get right to your list of stock picks for June. If there are any stocks on this list that you want to watch, make sure to sign up for our free text message alerts for any stocks on your watch list. If you're in the US, just text YouTube to 68285 to sign up for that free messaging service today. If you're outside the US, we have a link for you to sign up right in the description of this video. It's a totally free service and a great way to follow the price action on any of these stocks you want to follow. And make sure to stick around to the end of this video. It's a brand new stock that you might want to add to your watch list and expect a lot of moves in too. But for now, Thomas, let's get to that first stock you're looking at as a buy in June.
Well, right, the first company is Microsoft, and I think the theme with this one and with the next pick is just that these are blue chip companies, well-established, proven AI leaders able to monetize AI, and their results show that AI spending is still robust and they're still gaining traction. With Microsoft, it's about growth in Azure, also growth in its other core businesses that are being supported by AI services that are being embedded into them. And then with all stocks, Microsoft makes good cash flow, has a good dividend, it's buying back shares, and all of those things are tailwinds for the stock price.
Yeah, Microsoft is a company you've recommended before. We've talked about it before. Many people already own it. What specifically makes this stock stand out in June?
Well, it pulled back pretty strongly with all the other stocks. It's also rebounding very strongly and moving up to new highs. So that's a very bullish sign. I think that this market's ready to move higher. There is still some uncertainty, but we just need a little bit of clarity, some more certainty in the outlook. And I think that this market and others could begin to really move higher quickly.
Yeah, the next stock on your list, your second stock pick for June, kind of similar to Microsoft.
It is. It's a blue chip tech company capable of monetizing AI. Totally different business model. We're talking about Meta platforms. This story, I mean, again, it's just a continuation of the year of efficiency that began in 2022, that turned into the year of AI, and that turned into the year of sustained AI momentum and growth. This company is just still growing. It's still outperforming. It's still improving its internal metrics, which are showing leverage for investors, leverage for the future revenue, leverage for the future earnings. As with Microsoft, we have a pretty strong free cash flow situation here. Facebook is one of a few tech companies that have emerged over the last year or so as a budding dividend growth company. They started a dividend. They're on track to grow it. I would not be surprised to see Meta enter the Dividend Aristocrat Index in the next, 25 years once it reaches that point. And all these things are very positive tailwinds for the stock price.
Yeah, it had a really strong earnings report too, which is a good sign for investors. Anything seasonal or anything about this quarter specifically that would be really good for Meta?
Well, one of the things that's standing out, this new story, is the Ray-Ban AI glasses. Sales are growing. They're targeting acceleration in sales. We're looking at 10 million units per year in the next few years. And it's a big move for this company. It helps diversify it away from just being a social media company into being a tech gadget company, kind of similar to Apple. Apple does very well. Another company with great cash flow and great capital returns. So I think that for Meta, it's just a really good news for them to be able to use their AI in this way, establish themselves as a consumer technology products manufacturer.
Well, they're certainly doing a lot of advertising for those glasses. I feel like those ads are everywhere right now.
Right.
Well, the next few stocks on your list are some lesser known names. This third pick, though, still recognizable. I'm excited to hear why this one made your list right now.
So we're talking about eBay. Now, this isn't an AI company building AI infrastructure, making chips, or developing any kind of crazy models, but it is using AI. It's been using machine learning in its platform for many years. It's been leaning into that over the last year or two, enhancing its services both for buyers and sellers, also for internal operations. So the takeaway right now is that it's going to be trying to, hopefully, and already showing some signs of invigorating and accelerating its growth with AI, and that is resonating well with the analysts. The analysts are lifting their targets, and that's what caught my eye. You look back at the stock, it's trading in alignment with most of these other tech companies where it is just rebounding from lows that were set last year, the year before last, and it's trending higher with the growth in the picture, capital return in the picture, analyst positive sentiment in the picture. I expect to see it continue trending higher.
What about this company? It's been around for a long time. Everyone has heard of eBay. They probably used eBay for something or another. What about this company is helping to keep it relevant? Is there a certain industry or certain maybe type of sale that's happening on eBay that's really helping to keep this business going strong?
I think it's just the platform itself. It's well entrenched. It's well known. It's versatile and has utility for lots of different kinds of businesses and industry. You've got branded sellers, non-branded sellers, resellers, new sellers, spanning segments. So it's a broad, diverse platform, and I think that's what it has going for it.
Very good. Well, let's move on to the fourth company on your list of June stock picks this month.
Right, that's Snowflake. We've talked about Snowflake before recently. This is a story that has an affirmation of a move that was made last year. They changed the CEO last year. That was a good move. This guy is reinvigorating the business. He's kind of aligning all of their different operating segments together, getting their go-to market and their sales strategy in alignment, invigorating sales, has also invigorated product innovation, which is really critical for a tech company because if they don't change and improve what they're going to do, somebody else will do it better, disrupt them, and then Snowflake will lose its competitive edge. And that edge is centered on its moat. And as a data company, there are lots of other data companies out there, but Snowflake focuses on what's called the data lake. And that's just all of the raw data that a company produces. So lots of AI models, lots of machine learning is going to analyze that data and restructure, reorganize it, and then spit out whatever it is that you want to have, altering it. The data lake puts all the raw data in one place, but also has these features that helps to sort and analyze it and kind of put it in clumps that can then be used by other models, other other data mining application.
Very interesting business for sure. We've talked about this, like you said, on the channel pretty recently in a more in-depth look. So I'll have that video linked in the comments too. But I think what is maybe concerning for me is, like you said, this is a really big field already. And I see with such demand, there being more players kind of entering the market in this area. Do you think competition is going to be make it or break it for Snowflake?
Competition could increase, but they have a first mover advantage, and they have a very unique position and offering, and that is being that's seen in the analyst responses and comments. They highlight that frequently, and so to me that stands out as a positive for the company.
Do you think the potential for growth is there too with Snowflake? Do you think that this company has the potential to grow leaps and bounds from where it is today?
Oh yeah, that's really what the story is, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because the story with the CEO change is that the company had an outlook for a sustainable 20% growth, and then that outlook was kind of faltering, failing, and then they changed the CEO, and then the outlook was questioned, and now the CEO has affirmed the outlook, and now we're back to a very strong, robust outlook for 20-25% sustained annual growth for the next few years, which will lead this company to double in size within 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah, that's a really good growth story and a story of the impact a CEO can make. Thank you for that one,
Indeed.
Thomas. Let's move on to your last pick of the month. And this one is one that's everyone is talking about right now.
Right. This is Coreweave. This is a recent IPO. It's a cloud-based service providing NVIDIA-powered compute capacity. So basically, if you're someone that wants to run an AI model and you don't have your own NVIDIA GPUs, you can use their service. So that's pretty big. There's going to be a lot of demand for that. We see that in the growth outlook. We're looking for a high triple-digit growth pace over the next 6 to 8 quarters, which is pretty phenomenal. That'll taper off into the double digits after that, but still a very solid growth outlook. And that's all supported by AI demand. There's really no reason not to expect the company to follow through on that.
What's most interesting about this one is a very recent IPO, only been out for about a month, and this stock has gone a little wild in that month. I think there's always a little bit of a risk getting in on a company right when it IPOs. What are your thoughts or advice for investors just with where the stage of this company in the market?
Well, right. I did highlight in my article, is an IPO stock, there is some volatility. You're going to want to wait for this one to pull back. With an IPO, there's lots of chance for volatility and for fairly large swings. The outlook is positive. The market has also outrun the analyst consensus, so there is some reason for it to pull back, but I would expect to see any price pullback turn into a buying opportunity that would pay off for investors over time.
I do want to just pull up this chart and look at it a little bit because it's quite the story to see where it started at, where it spiked to, and I think even just understanding what a pullback in this stock would look like is important for our viewers to know because, like you said, sometimes these IPO stocks can have huge swings. How big of a swing would you look for as an entry point for this one?
Right. So as you can see, this stock hit a top shortly after I wrote this article, and it is now pulling back. Right now, we're showing some support at the 30-day moving average, and that is one target for an entry point. We're going to want to see the market confirm it with a buying signal. If that doesn't happen, the next target is going to be down here at the 150-day moving average, about $75. So that would be a fairly significant pullback, about another 25%, 30% from where we are right now.
Yeah, and those 20, 30% swings are not unheard of for a stock. Honestly, I think this is the shortest history we've ever seen on a chart on this channel. We haven't really talked about IPO stocks very much, so it's interesting to see a chart that has just such a small history to show, barely
Indeed.
even that 30-day moving average. I'd love to talk just a little bit more about what investors can expect with these IPO stocks. We've seen a wide range of stories in the past on what happens to companies like this with really great potential, a lot of excitement at the beginning, and then a really stark drop off later on.
Right. So the risk would be that the stock would continue to rise, but then over the coming quarters, within the next 2 or 3 or 4 quarters, we'll start to get some signs that either one, the growth isn't accelerating beyond where we thought it was, which would continue to drive the stock price higher, or it's weaker, which would be really bad. And in that case, the stock would definitely correct and it would probably fall down to below the IPO price and could possibly wallow there for quite some time.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that story happen before, but the opposite is true where IPOs are successful, and then they just continue to go up from there too. So we'll see
Right.
what Coreweave's story is. The last point I wanted to make on this stock, we just had a guest on earlier this week talking about companies that NVIDIA invests in, and that is Coreweave. They actually
Right.
have $900 million as of March invested into Coreweave. What does that say about this company?
It's an affirmation of the company's outlook and strength. I think it's a good sign. As we were saying, CoreWeave has a risk of, underperforming the outlook, but I don't think that's possible with this company. Demand for NVIDIA compute is so high. I mean, the revenue in NVIDIA has been growing so significantly, wickedly fast because of the demand for compute space. If this company has space available, companies that are waiting to get their GPUs that are on back order are going to go to it. So there's definitely going to be demand for its product.
Very good. An interesting last pick on your list of June stock picks right now for investors to consider. Let us know what you think about these picks or which stocks you are watching this month. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you join us every month for Thomas' list of 5 stocks he's looking at. Thanks again for joining us, everyone. And as always, happy investing.